You are watching SGTV, Socially Good Television.
Great morning. Welcome to Wavelengths. I'm your host, Grace Roberts. So glad you could join us. Thank you for starting your day with the wave. I have a very special guest here in studio with me, the creator, the founder of the BeFree Project. That sounds exciting. Siobhan Sudberry. Welcome, Siobhan. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
BeFree Project. Siobhan, tell us all about the BeFree Project.
Yeah, so I launched BeFree Project 4.5 years ago, and it was after I got laid off from my job at Bank of America. I had been there for 7 years and was very unhappy, unfulfilled in that role. However, when they closed the site, I decided I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. I wanted to walk in my purpose and do something that I could make an impact in the world. And so I launched BeFree Project really more so for myself to figure out like how to get unstuck and how to figure out how I can show up in the world and not necessarily have to live by society standards. And when I launched it, it was from a space where I can just figure out, okay, what do I want for my life? What makes me come alive? And then how can I kind of share that with the world and help transform other lives as well as I was doing the work on my own. And so BeFree Project is a coaching company where I teach women how to get unstuck, how to get clear about what you want so that you can cultivate a life that feels good to you inside and out. And how I do that is I have a number of different avenues. So I have meetups every single month where I get women together to talk about their purpose, their goals, and their ambitions in life. And it's really just a safe space for you to be free and a judgment-free space for you to have conversations that you're not having on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So that's one piece. I also am a motivational speaker. And then I have a podcast called Girl Be Free. And then lastly, I have a membership site called the BeFree Inner Circle, where there's a collective of women all over the world who get resources and accountability and community support to show up for themselves.
Very nice. I think we need that.
Yes.
We really need that because we as women can wear so many hats and we can get stuck in doing everything else for everyone else, but not living and fulfilling ourselves, our purpose. Define freedom, Siobhan.
For me, freedom means living life out loud, like being free to do what I want to do on my own terms and not being in a box and living how society says we should live, right? So what I was taught is you go to school, you get married, you have kids, you work this job until you're ready to retire, and then that's when you're able to live life. And for me, I'm choosing to live now. So doing work that I'm passionate about. I homeschool my kids because I do want to cultivate a different type of lifestyle for them. And then just walking in my purpose is freedom to me.
You have that freedom to do that because
Absolutely.
you stepped out 4.5 years ago and you haven't looked back.
Absolutely not. No, definitely not.
How exciting, the BeFree Project. So I like the idea of the meetups too. You know, you said it's a safe space where the women can, I guess, bounce ideas off of one another and just understand it's a safe space. We're not judging. We're here to figure it out, encourage and lift and boost one another to help figure it out.
Absolutely. And I started it because when I launched BeFree Project, I was looking for a space where were women coming together to have conversations that were outside of what was happening on reality TV or gossip and stuff at work. Like I wanted to have in-depth conversations so that we can grow, and I couldn't find it. And so when I had the coaching piece of my business, I also launched the BeFree meetups where I can get together with women and say, okay, well, who do you need to forgive and why? Or what makes you come alive? Or what is your purpose? And then what are the actionable steps that you're taking in order to show up for yourselves? And over time, it's just grown into something very beautiful where for the last 3 or 4 months, we've been selling out because more and more women realize that they need to be around each other.
And you had been doing coaching before you realized you were doing coaching for so many years, right,
Absolutely,
Siobhan?
yes. I didn't even know that there was life coach was a title.
Right.
I had been coaching my friends for years while I was working in corporate America. So when I decided to make the leap and choose to, work for myself, it was natural. It wasn't anything forced. You can say like, oh, I want to write this book, and right away I'm going to give you the actionable steps on how to get it done. Sometimes it can be a little bit too much for people because they're not ready.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, be mindful if you share something with me, because I'm going to remember it and I'm going to challenge you to get it done.
And hold accountable. Absolutely. Accountability is key.
Yes.
Accountability is key. And, I think that's great, because when you put that out there, it says, I want to do it, but now I have to follow up.
Yep.
Now I have to take the action. Now I have to take the steps. And you will hold accountable and say, yeah, well, I need you to do A, B, C, and D. But sometimes we need that. Like I said, we can do that for everyone else. But when it comes to ourselves, we kind of get stuck.
Yep.
We pause, and then we can't seem to get out of that space, that rut.
And I think a lot of it is due to fear of not feeling like you're good enough, or feeling like other people are going to judge you. So then it's easier to stay in this comfort zone, because then that's a safe space. But then if I do anything outside of my box of what I'm comfortable in, then that's a little bit scary. And so for me, I suggest that you take little steps. It doesn't have to be like this grand thing, but what's something little you can do every single day so you're getting closer to whatever your dream is.
Absolutely. We are talking with the founder of the BeFree Project, Siobhan Sudberry. And we're talking about how can you be free? What does freedom mean to you? Some people it could mean more money. Some people it could mean more time, having more time with their family. And you said, you homeschool your children. Well, you have the freedom to do that. You have the freedom to create and to do, and the meetups. That sounds like a lot of fun. Where do you meet up? Is it specifically here in Northeast Ohio, or is it throughout the country, or... It just depends.
Yeah, so right now our meetups are held at the Greenhouse, which is a co-working space in Euclid, Ohio. And then I have traveled and hosted an event in North Carolina. So the goal now is to go on tour, because I get people all over asking me, when are you coming to New York? When are you coming to California? And I want to make that happen, because, again, my community is very large, and there's actually global. So
Yes.
I want to be able to reach people where they're at.
Absolutely. And so I can ask you, what do you enjoy most? But freedom.
Yes.
Living on your own terms. And how many people can say that they do that?
Not many.
I mean, we think about, you're in a position, you work 30 years, you're retired, and, and people just living, not just existing, not even really living.
Yep.
And so here we are, and here's a platform, a vehicle to do that, the BeFree Project. And it's not just the meetups, you're a speaker, you have the website, you have the podcast, you do the coaching. So what do you enjoy most, Siobhan?
That is a great question. What I enjoy most is that the women that are following all over the world that I have never even come in contact, but they've read my newsletter, or they follow me on social media, and then they'll send me a message like, thank you so much for what you shared, because this has changed my life. Or I talk about therapy a lot. I've been in therapy, best decision ever. And when I say that out loud, now women feel comfortable with going to see a therapist.
Right.
And so that means a lot. Or just getting these kind words to know that the words that have come out of my mouth has impacted somebody's life in a positive way, and they have started to do the little steps that I talk about. That means the most to me. Is also with my children. Like, they get to see their mother pursuing her purpose and doing something that she loves, and they are a part of it. And so now they know that when they too can pursue whatever that thing is that they're passionate about. Like, that means the most to me.
You think about when you were working at the bank, before you left the bank, you said you were not happy in that space because you knew there was something more. You knew that this was not the purpose. And how many people are living in those spaces today? How many people live in positions because they need to pay the bills? They need to take care of their family, when they could very easily be fulfilling their purpose and doing the same thing.
Yes, there's so many people.
And you say fear, and I know that's big for us. So what do you find most with your clients, your client base? And then I want to find out who your audience is. Okay. What do you find most that is one of the most, I guess, one of the barriers, one of the things that prevents them from taking that leap?
It's the fear and not believing in themselves. And so so when we have the BeFree meetups, one of the questions I'll ask is, what is your biggest dream? And people will say, oh, I want to write a New York Times bestseller. But then there was one lady who started crying when she said that out loud.
Wow.
Because of the fear behind it. And she had never said it to anyone else. And so we had to work through that. And I said, okay, I want you to write every single day, even if it's just a sentence. Write that and start to get in, just to build that excitement within yourself, and then we can kind of work through it from there. But it's the fear of not believing in themselves is what I'm seeing most.
Because once you put it out there and you think, like you said, she had never said it out loud before, but then she's saying, okay, I can't believe I said that.
Yes.
So now what do I do with it? You know, so she put it out there before you, first of all.
Yes.
So, now you're accountable because
Yes.
now you're going to take those steps to step beyond the fear and make it happen. Yeah, you can. We women, we can help other people catapult into, success. Our husbands, our families, our kids, and then, like I said, then we just get to that place and get stuck. So there's such a great need for what you do globally. Absolutely, and thinking about the women around the world that need to learn how to be free.
Yes, and what I'm noticing that no matter your race, no matter your age, as we collect together, we all are dealing with the same stuff. So the women that come to the BeFree meetup, I have young women at 18 all the way up to women in their 60s trying to figure out, okay, what does being free look like? And then how do I start to kind of incorporate that in my day-to-day life? And being free has nothing to do with entrepreneurship.
Right.
Being free is, how do I do what feels good to me inside and out? So if you want to dance, you should be dancing. If you want to paint, if you want to advance in your career, whatever that looks like for you, that is what you should be pursuing versus allowing yourself to be stuck and stagnant and doing nothing.
And to think that one of the barriers, age. Women think, oh, I'm too old.
Yes.
Not at all. Nonsense. As long as you have breath.
Yes. Yep.
And you desire to do it, and I don't know if anyone listening has ever been to that place, or if you, Siobhan, where you've been in the place where it's time to move and you feel stagnant and you feel stuck, where you just have that feeling that I need to push beyond this, but I can't. So speak to someone listening right now that is listening here on this Sunday morning, and I need to push beyond that, but I can't. What advice can you give them?
Well, I was definitely in that space while I was working. I felt very lost, and I felt like something was missing, and it was almost like this thorn in my side that kept nagging me, like my life was more than being a wife and being a mother. Like, I was more than the roles that I was playing, and I couldn't figure out what that next step was. And so for me, I had to start to do the inner work, and I had been carrying so much emotional and mental baggage from my childhood because of the choices that my mother had made. And so again, for me, therapy was the first thing that I had to do to deal with that. And after going to therapy, then it was meditating and journaling and asking myself very specific questions. What makes me come alive? What can I see myself doing for the rest of my life, whether I got paid for it or not? And when I started being honest with myself and writing that down, then I had something to start with. And then I had to hold myself accountable to start taking action on that. So for anyone that's listening, I highly recommend journaling and freely writing, what do you want for your life? And being okay with that, and then find a community, find an accountability partner that can hold you to kind of start making stuff happen.
And being honest.
Yes.
Take off the mask.
Yes.
How can you get to the root? How can you get to your purpose if you are wearing a facade, if you are pretending and not addressing what you need to address to get beyond? You'll find you'll remain in that place. You'll remain in that place and continue to go through life in that place, in that comfort zone, and not live in your true purpose.
Yeah,
but you can. Yeah. You really can.
I wore a mask for years.
How many of us do that, though?
Oh, my
By
goodness.
show of hands, how many of us have done that and just continue to do it and don't know how to get out of it because they've been doing it for so long?
Yep. It becomes your normal.
Right.
Yeah, I did for years, and it was very uncomfortable. And then when I started, again, looking within, I realized that I wanted my life to look different. And because at the time, my daughter was very young, and I wanted more for her. And I knew that I first had to get healthy mentally and emotionally so that I could show up. And I would have never been able to walk into my purpose and do the work that I'm doing today if I didn't start with healing from my past issues.
Absolutely. And again, too, with that, right, Siobhan, would you say that, people are maybe embarrassed or afraid of because of choices that were made, some of that were made for them, where they didn't have the voice, and then they think they're ashamed, they are embarrassed. But once you're able to address, and then you find oftentimes, too, you're not the only one, you're not the first one that has gone through something such, and you're not going to be the last one. And again, how can you be free when you're held captive by so many things? So I think about that. Speak to some of the issues and things that some of your clients face.
So one thing, and I love how you just said that, because at the BeFree meetup, there's a wide range of women that are in the room. And as the women share, you realize that you're not alone on the journey, and then we're all going through very similar things. So some of the things that the women have been challenged with, even with the one that happened this past weekend, was overthinking every little thing, or how do you let go of things that you've been just juggling for so long, or procrastination, or feeling like the work that you're doing is not really good enough, but then you're looking at what other people are doing and then you're comparing your life to them. And so that keeps you stuck. So there's so many different things that I hear, but again, as we talk about it out loud and you hear from other women, they're like, oh, okay, then I'm not alone. Let's connect together.
Right.
Let's hold each other accountable, and keep coming to the BeFree meetup so that we have this community.
BeFree meetups, and then too, women are scared because they live in this box. We've done this, I've done this. Yes, I'm successful in this career, but I want to advance. I want to do something different. And, like I said, they wear the facade, they wear the mask. On the outside, they look fabulous, but on the inside, there's just something tugging and saying, wait, let's do something different, or let's push a little further. So how can we get more information, Siobhan, about the BeFree meetups, about your coaching, about the BeFree Project? How can we get more information about you?
Yeah, well, definitely follow me on social media. I am everywhere at BeFree Project. And then my website is BeFreeProject.com. And then if you want to learn more about the BeFree meetups, BeFreeProject.com/events.
BeFree meetups. When's the next one?
August 11th at 6 p.m., which is a Saturday.
Wow, very nice. And you do them every month?
I do them every month.
So if you want more information about the BeFree Project, the BeFree meetups, you just want more information about Siobhan Sudberry. Yeah, she's phenomenal, and she is free. Living by her own terms. Again, define freedom for us, Siobhan.
Yes, for me, freedom means living out loud, doing exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, not being in a box, but really doing work that makes a difference. And then I am free to just live how I choose to.
Absolutely. So yeah, freedom means so many different things for so many people, but to live on your own terms, to have the time, to have the money, to have the freedom for your family, for yourself, most importantly, right? Like you said, it starts with your health, your well-being. How can you be of any good to anyone else if you don't have the health, the wellness first? And so many of us struggle with that. So the BeFree Project is a safe place. The BeFree meetups is a safe space for you to be free. That's the first step. Right, Siobhan?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Wow. The BeFree Project, Siobhan Sudberry, the founder, the owner of the BeFree Project, the BeFree meetups, the coaching. If you are interested and you need coaching, you can go to the website. You can tune into her podcast as well. And again, your website, Siobhan?
It's BeFreeProject.com. And then my podcast is called Girl Be Free. And you can find that on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher.
Wonderful. The BeFree Project. Be free, be free, be free.
Yes.
Thank you for watching SGTV, Socially Good Television. Visit sociallygoodtv.com and remember to share this video.